Hey, mate. Hold on. You're running 7th, Gareth. Well done.
Hello and welcome. Episode 34, and there's 35 days left until Berlin Marathon. Could have timed that a bit better, couldn't I, for my episodes? So yeah, landed well. It's 5 week out, 35 days until Berlin. Probably 25 days left of like training volume before I start hitting my taper, and things are looking good to say I'm in a marathon block. So today I'm going to do it in a little bit in reverse. So I'm going to talk about a little bit of knowledge before I then kick off into my week and a week of training and what my training week this week has looked like. So I sat in my bedroom, dog's on, Bessie's on the bed, little Bess Chogi. Naomi's just gone out, she's gone swimming at the Metrodome with Ruby, and Kai might be swimming or he might just go to the gym. So yeah, been busy all day. Done all sorts today, including my 20 miler. Fed some goats, some sheep, walked around Cannon Hall, and been here, there, and everywhere. So yeah, finally getting around to filming my cookies rambles. So this week I'm going to talk about recovery, because I'm deep into a marathon block. I'm 5 weeks out from race day, and I'm starting to feel the marathon, like just the volume in stuff. And I've go for massages, I preach recovery, I wear recovery tights, I'll do my foam roller, I'll stretch, do a little bit of strength work. But there's some key little things that I've read up this week, and one thing in particular, and it's from a guy called Steve Magness. So I've spoke about his book, Do Hard Things, which I've read before as well. So yeah, I got a copy of it downstairs in the living room, and he's quite a knowledgeable, philosophical guy when it comes to running as well, because he's not a bad performer, or hasn't been a bad performer when it comes to running. So 4 types of recovery, 4 types of fatigue, and how you can specifically recover from them. So we've got flatness, soreness, stress, and then feeling lethargic. So I'll run you through what they are and what the define is, and how you can recover from them, and then what that actually means for me right now in training. So kicking off, the first one. So flatness. It's when you lose that pop or responsiveness in your legs, and you feel flat. So you haven't got that like bounce or that explosiveness in your training. Like you can't find that next gear to kick on and hit some real speed. And Steve Magness, he did this on an Instagram post earlier in the week, or it might have been last week. So when muscle tension's off, and like you think a rubber band, and you stretch it too much, then it wears out, it loses its stretch and doesn't bounce back to the same amount of tension as it did before. So in terms of like what can you do it and what causes it, so it's when you're doing slow, high volume work, and it reduces that tension, that pop over time. And there's some little stuff that you can do to tweak your training if you're in tune with your body and you know and can acknowledge this is happening within you. So you could be doing hops, fast sprints, some hill sprints, some plyometric work, and stuff where you can get fast without actually getting fatigued from it. So like your short strides and your fast strides and all that sort of stuff. So maybe some 200 metre sprints, some 100 metre sprints, just to reignite that tension in your muscles and make your elastic band tighter again. Then the next one, so number 2 on my list, is soreness, when you're feeling tender. So like you'll touch your muscles and you think, they're a bit tender, like a bruise. And we all know what soreness is. We all know how it feels in your body. So it might come after you've just started doing something new in your training. So you just go to the gym and you start doing legs that you've not done in ages. Or you might be ramping up your miles and your distance or your volume or your intensity, and muscle soreness occurs. So what can you do for muscle soreness, may you ask? So simple, really. It's just moving, repairing, recovering. So it might be doing something a little bit different, just at a lighter intensity. So doing some exercise, some drills, having a massage, which I alluded to earlier, and increasing your protein intake. Because what's protein? It's a builder. So when I used to teach like nutrition in schools and nutrition to people that I worked with, I used to describe protein as fix it Felix, if anyone's seen Wreck-It Ralph. And protein goes around your body and fixes all your muscles and your scar tissue and all that sort of stuff to make you stronger, faster, and perform better. And then another thing, top secret hack to improving your muscle soreness is sleep. So getting your 7-8 hours a day sleep, not having broken sleep, and having some like high quality sleep as well. And then the third type of like recovery need that you, or training thing that you need, so stress, so feeling overwhelmed, anxious, like you're constantly in stress. So when you might feel busy all the time, and your body it don't recover. If your body is stressed and you're in a high stress state, so it might be your environment that you find yourself in, and it's getting ready to, it's in the fight and flight thing in your nervous system 100% of the time, then you need to calm down and relax. So sleep is another trick. So getting enough sleep to reduce your anxiety and your stress needs. Get outside, which we've done today, in nature, because listening to the birds, hearing the bees, and all that sort of stuff not that sort of stuff, can help you recover from your stress needs. So doing relaxing stuff, listening to relaxing music, not heavy metal, reading, having a bubble bath, enjoying your hobbies, and spending a lot of time with your friends and your social circles can help you recover quicker from stress. And it might come from the environment that you find yourself in, and sometimes you can't change that environment. It's just where you are in life at that period of time. But acknowledging it in your body, that your body needs something, and being in tune with your body can help you. You come into tune with that. Then the last one, so number 4 on my list, that I've took from Steve Magness, is staleness, lethargic, tired. So just having a general thing of fatigue. So I've been through this where I've gone to work and then had to come home and go for a nap when I finish work, and just being tired and overly tired. And it might go on for like a day, longer than a day, like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you've got low energy, and you're just not quite hitting your paces, or you're just being a poor performer in training, and it might be that you just can't perform at your optimum level, what you recognise as your optimum level. So for this, if you are feeling lethargic, it could be some other stuff that's in play. So it might be you've got low iron, low cortisol, you're not getting the right vitamins in your diet. You might need to speak to a GP, because there is such thing as like long-term fatigue and general fatigue and all that sort of stuff as well. And then sleep, another hack that's top secret that no one knows about in your training. So getting some decent amount of sleep in your system. 8 hours is an absolute godsend, and honestly it can take you to that next level of your performance. And then another thing as well is increasing the amount that you're eating. So if you're burning 2,500 calories a day, and most will burn 2,500 calories a day without even doing anything as a male, and it's 2,000 as a female. But as a runner that runs every day, I know, for example, that I have to eat at least 3,000-4,000 calories some days. Today, if we're going off this Garmin, so let's have a look. Today, my watch recommends that I should have eaten, so I'm at 10 to 6 at the minute, I should have eaten 3,753 calories. So making sure that if you are burning this amount of fuel, you're replenishing it in your body, because then if you're not replenishing it, you are going to feel drained, tired, emotionally stressed, fatigued, all that sort of stuff as well. And a lot of people forget that. Like, we've got a lot of stuff that we will not focus on. So you need to make sure that you're fueling correctly just to enhance your running. And then there's a lot of stuff that you can add into your recovery as well, but those 4 things, and recognising that they are 4 different recovery needs that happen to your body through the different stages in your life. So recognising and being in tune with your body to understand these recovery needs and your high recovery needs, and how to cure them. It's just like having a cough, cold, and listening to your old wives' tales that probably do work. So you just need to be in tune with your body and just understand that. So where does that lead me? So in terms of like a recovery need right now, I'm high volume, high marathon training, doing a lot of slow work, but then equally a lot of fast marathon pace efforts that are longer, but they might not be as fast as what I'm used to. So my body, personally, if I had to say where I'm feeling, it'd be flatness. So I'm feeling flat in my training. I haven't got that pop or that sharpness that I probably had 6 weeks ago. So going back to York 10K, which were 2-3 weeks ago now, I had that pop, but since then I've done about 300 miles. So that pop is slowly dropping over time, and it has been replaced with marathon paced efforts, which was 5:30s for me, but I haven't got that fast stuff. So we're in the next couple of weeks just to reignite as I come into the back end of my marathon training, just reigniting some of that fast sharpness to make me bulletproof when I just notch up the distances as well. So it might be doing some strides, some hill sprints, some easy work that doesn't cause fatigue. On Friday night I've got the Mid-Cheshire 5K, so it'd be a perfect thing just to try it, even though going all out at 5K distance is like a consistent effort. It's just trying it in training as well. So Tuesday night session, I'll be including some strides on the end, just to increase that tension in my muscles and get my rubber band and my muscles a little bit more tense, so that it's got that elasticity as well in it, and make me a little bit sharper and a little bit more poppy and responsive when I'm running. So yeah, just recognising that in myself, will hopefully then recognise it in yourself. All that stuff is from Steve Magness. He's an absolute legend. Go and have a look at him. And yeah, just passing on some information that I've learned, and sharing alike. Anyway, so week of training. This week clocked 107.5 miles this week. So nice, decent bank done in the money bag. Some easy runs, some fast runs, some social runs, and a decent parkrun trip as well this week. So kicked off Monday, 10 mile in the morning, nice and easy, getting the miles in the bag. Felt really good in the morning. Did 5 with Kai, and then 5 on my own, and then got absolutely soaked when I were on my own because Evans just opened to say it were August. And then in the evening, went down to the Truns because now we were running the Truns. Ran like 4 mile before, and then picked Bessie up off Naomi and went and ran 4 mile with Bessie. So it were 18 mile for Monday, which were quite big, chunky Monday mileage. Enjoyed it, and hopefully tomorrow will be more of the same. And then Tuesday, woke up, out in the morning as usual, 10k done in the morning. Again, more easy mileage, no stupid, not too fast. In the evening, a big chunky session, so it were a warm up, couple of mile, and then we did like 6 times 1 mile, and each mile were like a different pace. I got 5 of these done, and on the 5th one, my stomach just went, so I had to go up to the toilet, and just cried in my own pit of pain. So yeah, went to the toilet, then came out the toilet, went back onto the track, and then chased Scott Inchcliffe down on his last 400 of his mile rep, and then I did just a fast 800. Wanted to split it in quicker and 5-minute miles, which I did. So yeah, ended up being just short of 17 mile for Tuesday with that session done as well. Did feel quite consistent for the first 4, which were quicker than marathon pace, about 5:22ish, and then or 5:20ish, and then the fifth one dropped on the head, and then a lot quicker for me, 800. So yeah, quite happy with that. And then Wednesday, I had one of them stupid days, busy days, crackers days, here, there, and everywhere Wednesday. So woke up in the morning, 10 mile boxed off in the morning, nice and easy. No stupid, recovered quite well from the session the night before. Ran with Kai in the morning, so that was good to get out with him again. And then got back, did some work on the laptop, and then unfortunately my Uncle Dennis passed away a few weeks ago. He had been battling a long time with various amount of illnesses. So he passed away, 88-year-old. So went to his funeral, with rest of my family, and it was quite good as well to see all my mum's brothers and sisters, apart from the biological brothers and sisters, apart from my Uncle Paul and my Uncle John, like not in the room with them. So because they've unfortunately passed away, but yeah, she's got 9 brothers and sisters, so they were all there, which were quite good. I've not seen it since like 2001 or something crackers like that. So yeah, they were all in the room, and then went back to work, had a meeting at 3 o'clock, and then went back to the funeral, to the wake, and then got a phone call as I pulled up in funeral car park from my brother James and his girlfriend. Were down on a session that I'd set up in my old job at Worsborough, and one of the participants brings a dog along, so it's just a walk with a family, and there were a dog attack on the dog that comes along, and another dog had run over that weren't part of the group and just picked the dog up like it were a little teddy bear. So Alice were panicking, so took James down to Worsborough, and then went back to the funeral again. Sat in the funeral wake, in the pub, and Birdie said to me, because it's round corner from Birdie's house, "You going for a run, Cookie?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going for a run about 6 o'clock." So I went for a run with Birdie at 6, and then finished that, and then went for a massage at 7:30 at John Ackleton's house. So yeah, one of them days Wednesday, and just everywhere. So in terms of stress, it were a high stress day. So but it was good to be surrounded by people, and I'm thankful to go for a run with Birdie and go for a run with Kai, because it was more of a social thing rather than just going for a run, and then finish it off with a massage at John's, because it was just bang 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 like a pinball. And then Thursday, woke up after all that, and went for 10 mile easy in the morning, just nice and steady. Enjoyed it, got it done. Ran with Kai again in the morning. No stupid, no session stuff this week. Just letting the legs come back to life. And after my Wednesday, didn't want to do anything high stress. And then in the evening, just nice and easy 5 mile. Boxed it off, got it done. So yeah, good Thursday, 15 mile done Thursday. And that was that. And then Friday, back to still recovering once. Still running once on Friday. So looking down my Strava, looks like I've done once on Friday now every run since the middle of May. So sticking to my promise. So 10.2 mile done on Friday. Nice and easy, no stupid. Went up and round Cannon Hall and back down. It's like that though, the road. It's so wavy and up and down. You never get, you're either working uphill or you're coming downhill. And then Saturday, went through to parkrun. So it was Naomi's 100th parkrun. So 2 years ago when parkrun returned, I think she'd only done like 5, 6. So yeah, met me, and now she's got 100 parkruns under her belt. So in the last 100, probably apart from Beverley, I think her favourite's been Bakewell, Monsell Trail parkrun. So we went through to Bakewell. Hannah Butcher came with us, and ended up running 19:42 for a near enough PB, 2 seconds off a PB, which is 19:40. I wanted to run at marathon pace it's downhill on the trail on gravel, and then turn around and run uphill on the trail on gravel. So the first mile I got carried away a bit and ran 5:10s, but then mile 2 and 3 after that it was 5:29, 5:30. So can give or take a second, can't you? So that were good. Ran at marathon pace and finished in about 16:50. So yeah, happy with that. Enjoyed it. Did 6.5 mile the other way up the Monsell Trail, through a couple of the tunnels on the Monsell Trail, and turned around and came back. So yeah, we're 12 mile done for Saturday. And yeah, by that point on 87.5 mile for week, on top of the world. Yeah, and had a decent week running with loads of people that I surround myself with. All strong characters and good quality people as well. And then on to Sunday. So one I've not run with this week is Dave. So Dave, if you're watching, we need to get out for a run this week. Sunday. So plan was meet Birdie at Starbucks and do a long run with the squad. So I needed 20. I think Birdie were doing 13 today, and I knew that. And I know that it's about 3.5 miles down to Starbucks from where we live. So 3.5 times 2 is 7. Birdie's doing 13, so bang on 20. So ran 3.5 mile down. Gary Briscoe parked up outside ours. Ran down with him. It is slightly downhill there, which meant it was slightly uphill on the way back. But yeah, that's just one thing after another, isn't it? Got down into Starbucks car park and there were a full squad there. It was like doing Boundary in 2017 all over again. So yeah, there were Birdie, Sean Burke, F. Doy, and Scott Inchcliffe as well there in the car park. And yeah, it was just a nice social run up the trail. So we ran 6.5 mile out. Looked at our watches, and Birdies were on 6.5, ours were on 9.75. So we're like, yeah, we'll just do an extra quarter mile, me, Gary and Scott. And when we turn around, we'll be able to catch them easy. Not realising that it's about 4 minutes difference and probably about half a mile to catch them coming back down the trail. So yeah, we didn't catch them until about 5k. Kicked up, so we called it a pick-up, which were in Gary's plan anyway. So we picked up to about 5:40, 5:30 pace, give or take. Coming back down the trail to try and catch them, and caught them just after all the major road crossings. So it was like touching cloth every time you got to a road crossing, because if you stopped it meant that we had further then to try and catch them, which we didn't need. But yeah, it was a good little motivating tool today, just to try and catch from some pals or some dodgy lads, as I've named it on my Strava. So yeah, that's been my week in training. 107.5, not 175. Did that once, never again. 107.5 miles this week. About 5,500 foot elevation done. Runway, tons of people, loved it. And just now in tune with my body about 35 days out. Just what do I need to just take my training up a little bit, and that's to recover from this flatness and get me pop back. So increase a little bit of tension in my legs and do some short intervals, some strides, some hill sprints and that sort of stuff to make me a little bit quicker. So if I do turn up at Mid-Cheshire 5k on Friday night, I know that I can set an half decent time during this marathon block. It's not 5k work, because 5k work's been and gone. It's just finding that sharpness so that it makes the marathon pace feel easier, because the fast pace feels easier as well. So yeah, that's my plan. That's what I'm going for in the next 7 days. Probably next 2 weeks to try and fine tune before I then hit my taper in 25 days time. So cheers for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I hope you've took something away from today as well. And thanks for listening to episode 34 of Cookies Rambles. And I'll see you next week.